Welcome to Untamed and Unfiltered Wellness, the podcast where we're ripping up that rule book of conventional wellness because one size fits all never fits anybody. I'm your host, Joe Swenson, integrative health coach, herbalist, and the CEO and founder of Olivia Bell, a comprehensive lifestyle wellness company. Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, we've all felt it, but we don't ever talk about it, and that's loneliness. Not just being alone, but that deeper feeling of disconnection that affects us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. I say that because for the longest time, I thought people who were alone were lonely. But the fact is that's not the case. In 2011, I read an article and it has stuck with me for that long. I don't remember where I read it. I know I was in London. I want to say it was part of their Sunday magazine, and I knew it was part of a newspaper. I mean, it could have been the Evening Standard. I'm not 100%. But I remember where I was when I read it. And what this article was the results of a survey that had been conducted. And it was asking people if they would rather be alone or be lonely in their relationship. And I had my aha moment when I read that. I was like, oh crap, they're not the same thing. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely. You can be in a room with people and still feel lonely. Loneliness is not about the number of people around you. You can be married, have a family, go to work every day, and still feel completely invisible. Loneliness is a disconnection between the social connections we want and what we actually have. And what happens is our nervous system starts to feel that gap and perceives it as a threat. So our cortisol hormone will spike, our sleep will start to suffer, we will get inflammation, whether that's through joint pain or headaches, and then we walk around with that stupid knot in our stomachs because we know something is wrong. A lot of people will reach out to social media as a way to connect. Now, I'm not here to bash social media. I firmly believe it has a time and a place for everybody. But if you are feeling lonely and that is your way of connecting, you're going about it the wrong way. A 2023 meta-analysis found that excessive social media use, especially that passive scrolling or doom scrolling as we call it, is strongly linked to increased feelings of loneliness and even depressive symptoms. If you're reaching out on social media to feel more connected, you in the end up feeling more isolated. I think the easiest way to describe loneliness is standing in the middle of a crowded room and screaming and nobody hears you. That's the degree of loneliness I'm talking about. And there's a lot of people out there that feel that. The problem is that chronic feeling of loneliness impacts our body physically. The U.S. Surgeon General in 2023 compared the health risk of loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I know that seems extreme, but here are the facts. If you're feeling that sort of isolation, that sort of loneliness, your sleep starts to suffer. Your immune system becomes wrecked. Your blood pressure goes up. Your ability to regulate your stress, it's gone. And now your risk for heart disease, stroke, dementia, and depression go up. That's like smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's the point the Surgeon General was trying to make. But it's not just here in America. This is a phenomenon that's happening across the world. In the United Kingdom, in 2024, the Campaign to End Loneliness reported that 7.1% of people in the UK felt lonely either often or always. That's 3.8 million people. And it's not just the UK. It's not just the US. Look at Australia. 1 in 4 people reported persistent feelings of loneliness. That's from a 2023 study. Folks, this truly is an epidemic. And I'm not saying that because I want to get on a soapbox and sound the alarm. What I'm saying is when people feel lonely, they are 5 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts. 5 times. Not twice as likely, not 3 times as likely, but 5 times as likely to have suicidal thoughts. Loneliness can happen to anybody, especially people in a relationship. Now, a lot of the people I've worked with that have shared with me that they felt lonely were actually married. So it's not the physical connection, the lying in bed every night that makes them feel lonely. It's that emotional disconnection. People who feel lonely in a relationship start to feel less safe. They feel invisible and they're lacking that feeling of love. And it's a very slow and painful erosion. I'm not here to be doom and gloom. There is light at the end of this gigantic tunnel, and that is the power of connection. We have the ability to connect nonstop 24/7. The problem is we're not connecting the right way. Connecting through DMs or likes or comments on social media, not the route. Sending a text, a GIF, maybe, but the best thing you can do to break this cycle is to have an in-person connection. You don't need to be friends with 50 people or go out to dinner every night of the week with somebody new. Your connections can be 2 or 3 people. I'm lucky I have that in my life. I know if I'm feeling a little lonely or I'm feeling off, I'll send my friends a text and you know what it says? Marco. And one of them replies, Polo, and I smile, I laugh, and I instantly feel better because I have that connection with these people. It's important that you find that too. If so far none of this conversation has resonated with you because you don't feel lonely, I can guarantee you know somebody who does. That you've been in contact with people and not even realized how lonely they felt. And that's powerful. You reaching out and making conversation, asking somebody how they're doing. Hey, how are you? Telling the barista, thank you so much for the coffee. Have a great day. Smiling and waving at somebody. Those are powerful connections. That's all in person, folks. That is not a technology-driven way of connecting. That's the power. That's how we build community. If you haven't seen a neighbor in a while, go check on them. Call a friend, call a family member. Go out of your way to make small, tiny, consistent acts of kindness for others. We need to stitch our society back together instead of ripping it apart. I have 3 things I want you to do this week, and I want you to do all 3 this time. It is connecting with purpose. I want you to think about somebody you haven't spoken to in a while. I mean, physically had a conversation with. And I want you to send them a voice memo or a video. If you want to record a video, you can send that too, but no text. Send them a voice memo because I can guarantee you the sound of your voice will make them smile. You may not think so. I'm telling you it will. If there's a family member, a friend, an old coworker that you've been thinking about, drop them a voice memo. It just says, hey, just wanted to say hello, was thinking about you, hope you're doing okay. I can guarantee you that will make their day. The second thing I want you to do this week is I want you to get in the same room as other human beings, especially if you've been feeling disconnected or a little bit lonely. Go into the coffee shop and get your coffee. Don't go through the drive-thru. Park the car, go inside, place your order, thank the barista, look them in the face, and smile at somebody as you walk out the door. Those things are so important. Do not isolate. If you're an ice cream person, go get an ice cream cone. Go get a bowl of ice cream at the ice cream shop down the street. Get out of the car. Don't go through the drive-thru this week. Please get in the same room as somebody. And the third thing, I want you to offer somebody else your presence. What I mean by that is if you know somebody who's been struggling, for whatever reason that might be, drop them a note, invite them for a walk or for a cup of coffee or to go to dinner, and then have a conversation with them. No phones. Don't look at your watch. Don't look over their shoulder. Look them in the eye. Make that eye contact. Ask them a question and then listen to them. People that feel lonely often feel unheard. And if you take that step and if you reach out to them and just have a conversation and look them in the face, it can change the trajectory of their life. I am not exaggerating on that. If you don't think you have anybody to talk to, you have me. I offer free 30-minute wellness consultations 3 times a week. You can jump on the calendar, head over to the website at olivia-bell.com and connect with me over there. Let's set up a time to chat. I promise you, we don't have to talk about wellness stuff. We can just chat for 30 minutes. I want you all to know that loneliness is a biological signal telling you something vital is missing from your life. We are human beings. We are meant to feel connected, to belong to a society, to a larger community. If your world has shrunk just a little bit lately, if you're feeling unseen and unheard, you are responding to disconnection. You need to break that cycle and you need to get out of the house, get out of your routine, and try something new. Connect with people in person. If this episode inspired you to connect with somebody or check in on someone, share it with them. If you want more grounded, honest, no BS wellness support, head over to our website, olivia-bell.com, follow us on social media, and be sure to follow our podcast. I hope you make time today for some peace, some plants, and some paws. Until next time, thank you for listening to Untamed and Unfiltered Wellness.